Good afternoon, everyone. This is going to be a quick stream. I'm trying to split them up here a little more. Let's get Rumble moving. All right. Come on, Rumble. There we go. Got to get past that pre-roll that they really want you to have. How's it going, everybody? I see you on Rumble. Hey, Slowburn. How you doing, man? All right, we're going to head right into this. I'm going to try to keep this way under my normal 2 hours. This is a one topic. Well, pretty much one topic. Going to talk about the DC shooter, as you can see, if it popped down, because I'm on the other screen. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about this. And boing, there we go. All right. The whole DC workers... let's call it what it is, guys. I don't know how YouTube feels about this. Honestly, I don't think I care. If I have to, I'll just talk it on Rumble. But, you know, it's anti-Semitism. It clearly is anti-Semitism. And that seems to be pretty much the realm of the left. While we all keep hearing the mainstream media is still trying to trot this crap out, that the right, the center and the right are violent. Usually they say right, but they try to include the center as right. Anybody not far left is right. So they're always saying the far right is right. The right, everybody on the right are violent. J6, J6, J6. And I'm going to keep saying it. Screw your J6. May 29th, 2020. Totally negates J6. Now, lefties, give me another one. We can go clear back to Ferguson. We can go back before that. We can go Ferguson. We go Summer of Love. We go, where aren't we going to go? Recently, we can go the Tesla attacks. We can go to all the bunch of the school issues. You know? Are involving firearms, are lefties. All this crap going on around our country now is leftists taking over college buildings, getting in the way on streets, physically attacking people. This is craziness, and now exactly what we knew was going to happen. And everybody with common sense knew this was amping up, ramping up. And now we have it. The left has got their piece of flesh. So I'm not going to play ABC News, but I'll read a little bit because I'm just leading into a little bit. Jesse Waters did an epic. I don't watch a lot of Fox News, but some of the personalities are definitely worth watching, guys. Did a very good monologue on this and shared some new details that are horrifying. I am not trying to be hyperbolic. They were terrifying. And especially if you know what this guy just walked in and started chatting with people afterwards. Then I'm going to ask a question. I have questions about the firearm. All right. Welcome to all of you on Rumble. Welcome, Slowburn. I can see a couple people in the back on YouTube also. And anybody in Rumble, if you are able to chat, I do check the chat. Feel free to comment and say whatever. Friends and family of 30-year-old Yaron Leshinsky and his 26-year-old girlfriend, Sarah Milgram, describing the couple as a lovely couple who yearn for peace. You know? Yeah? We've seen a lot about them, but geez. It begs that we always try to talk about these people, show what they were. Don't let the left think that these are not people. People with faces, real people with lives. A couple that looks like they were going to get engaged and married. You know what? And I do not hear some left-tard, but what about all the evil and deaths going on in Palestine? Screw you. Does not give you the right to go offing other people who these people have no idea. This guy has no idea if these people are involved. And it sounds like they really wanted peace. I've read a couple other articles where they've talked about some of their friends are talking about they weren't all for this conflict in the first place and wanted it to end. So, Sarah was so empathetic and talking about the people in Israel who are suffering. The Palestinians in Israel are suffering. She was an incredible person. She'll be really missed, says her friend Jennifer. Yaron was the kind of guy that would have conversations with anybody about anything. Said another friend, I will forever think of him as a diplomat and a peacemaker at heart. And he was planning on proposing. I mean, dude. This is leftist hate. Blind, raging hate. They never have worried about who they hurt. And they will always obfuscate and make excuses. Well, but, no. I don't know anybody that I know around me that talks about makes excuses for J6. They go, yeah, that was effing dumb. Anybody did something violent? Yep, should be arrested. Should have been arrested. Yep, 100%. So yeah, tired of the obfuscation. Meanwhile, the suspect of the shooting, 31-year-old Elias Rodriguez. Now that's the first time I've heard him referred to as 31. Is being described as a terry towelist, fueled by hate and anti-Semitism after he was charged on Thursday with firearms violations and ending the lives of foreign officials. It's amazing what we can and can't say on YouTube. The dance. Anti-Semitism will not be tolerated, well, except on the left. Especially in the nation's capital, we're going to continue to investigate this as a hate crime and a crime of terrorism, said interim United States Attorney for District of Columbia, Jeanine Pirro. That was really cool. I saw that press conference. Oof. I don't think she's going to play around. All right, anybody here, let me know. Do you think Jeanine Pirro was a good pick for this interim United States Attorney for D.C.? I think so. And I think that if the Congress won't get off their ass and they won't get somebody really appointed that Trump wants, then I'm all for him re-upping her as an interim as long as it takes. I think he's good. But what do you guys think? Honestly, I really like her. I've looked at her history, not just because I like her on the 5, but she's kind of tough. And she's been through some stuff on, prosecuting as a judge. So, whew. But I'm always curious what everybody else thinks. So, all right. So, moving on from there, if anybody wants to answer that. New details have emerged that Rodriguez had flown into the Washington, D.C. area on Monday, and he had checked a 9mm handgun in with his luggage before buying a ticket to an event being held in the D.C. Capitol Jewish Museum on Wednesday night, his alleged target location. Now, here's a problem. This is clearly premeditated. Clearly. He had time to look up where to find these people, where there was an event going on, bought plane tickets, flew from Chicago to Washington, D.C., packed the firearm, had tickets to the event already. Clearly premeditated. Oof. There is not much leg for this guy to stand on. There's video evidence of what's going on. There's witnesses. I mean, wow. But the firearm, well, I'll have a question on here in a little bit. It was there that he allegedly ended the lives of 30-year-old Yarn, as they left celebration, just for 9 p.m. He allegedly shot the 2 workers at the Israeli embassy in the back and continued to fire after they fell to the ground. Jesse Waters will lay out a little. Whoa. Continued to fire after they fell on the ground, and it looks like he reloaded. At least 21 shell casings discovered at the scene for these 2 people. And it was point blank, so he probably didn't miss. I'm not trying to be nasty, but we should be as disgusted as possible by this. Every bit of this should be disgusted. And every bit as they want to turn and look at the right over J6, we should be 100% looking at the left for this. 100%. The violence going on in this country is all on the left. Everything from Tesla to this. Ramping it up, saying get in people's faces. Make them not comfortable. Pushing people, touching people. Stealing equipment, tearing up signs at events. It's always the left, and it's time to look at them and blow this stupid media crap. Oh, the right are violent. Time to say F you. It's over. We're done. You've lied to us about so much during COVID, during the Biden administration. About this, done. We don't believe you on nothing. Man. That's a lot. That's just crap. On Thursday, Rodriguez was charged with the ending of foreign officials. I know I'm watching that word because YouTube. Causing the death of a person through the use of a firearm, discharge of a firearm during a crime of violence, and 2 counts of first-degree ending of lives, according to court documents. Good. And once again, I'm on YouTube. I have to dance. So I'll ask you guys once again, what do you think is a proper outcome for this man? What is a proper outcome? And do not try, please, not to be too rough about it, but, how about this? Tell me, do you think he should get the absolute maximum that we are able to convict him with? Or do you think he should get a lenient charge? There you go. There's your 2 friendly options. That's for you guys on Rumble and you on YouTube. Ay, 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 ay. Those who lived in his Chicago neighborhood are stunned at what took place. I'm going to say partially bullshit. I know, bullshit. Once again, I'm tired of people going, well, there were no signs. Bull. When somebody's this loony, people that know me know I can have a temper. But they also know I take no bullshit. And they're going to go, well, he always seemed like a guy that just took whatever. But no. People around meet me know that I like some of this stuff. It's obvious. This guy's stuff was obvious. There are pictures of him, little video clips. He's out protesting. He's been saying some shit in the past. No, I'm going to say BS. How about covering your butts or burying your heads in your phone maybe? I mean, he seemed like a normal, friendly guy, one neighbor said. Kind of makes, not to be a total dick, but that makes me a little suspicious of this person. I wish that I'd had an opportunity to talk with him, because if I had, I would have talked him out of it. Really? A guy who will plan this, walk up and pump rounds into a woman's back when she's on the ground. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Jesse announced that. That is not a guy you are probably going to chit-chat out of this. This guy has been brainwashed. He's 31 years old. He's been hearing the leftist media attack Trump and the right as the demons of the universe for 10 years. That is programmed brainwashing. You weren't going to chit-chat this guy out of it. That's all there is to it. During his first court appearance Thursday, Rodriguez, wearing a full white jail jumpsuit flanked by 2 U.S. Marshals, waived his right to a detention hearing and asked for a public defender. Next scheduled to appear at a preliminary hearing on June 18th. And I'm going to say something. This affected the country. This affected maybe even the world. This should be televised. And I think in 2025, as our technology as it is, I think there are a lot of high-profile trials that should be televised. I really do. I understand protecting witnesses. We can blank witnesses out. It's easy. If I can edit things here and I can do this broadcasting from my computer, big studios in these courts can edit and blank faces, warble voices, whatever, or say, whoop, we're doing the witness that can't be seen. That's fine. But there's ways to do that, and we should. It's in a public interest. Members of the Congressional Jewish Caucus spoke to reporters on Thursday afternoon, saying the terror and anti-Semitic hate against the Jewish community must end. And it's from the left. I will defy anybody to show me it coming hugely at any of the Jewish community from the center or the right. I don't see it. It's the left. As a Jewish mother of young Jewish professionals, my first thought was that easily could have been one of my kids or one of my staffs if I rep. Democratic Rep Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Well, Debbie, not to be a Debbie Downer, but it's your party. You have helped amp this crap up. All the crazy, violent rhetoric your party has been spouting for 10 plus years. So screw you, Debbie. And if you know anything about Debbie Wasserman Schultz, she's a dirty individual herself. She got no room to be talking. All right, so we're going to head over here. Little Jesse Waters. not little Jesse Water, but he did a little. Wow, that was interesting. Didn't mean to drag that. This opening is amazingly well done. And this Ryan over here, Jesse Waters, this is the state of the Democrat Party. They're making homes go poof. I want you to cover my butt. Homes go poof. IVF clinics. Yep, I forgot about that one. The IVF. Teslas ending people's blah blah, CEOs and Jews. Having margaritas on MS-13. Democrats support the most violent and evil people in society. And I will add, while saying it's not them, it's the other side is doing this. The other side is bad, evil. They're Hatlers, they're Mussolinis, they're Hans Gruber, they're Megamind. Yeah. They are the Undertaker if you go back to old wrestling, whatever, Every bad guy, every supervillain, that is it. That is it. That's what they say about the right. But every bit of evidence is it's the left. And he's right. It is a fact. Sorry. All right. Take a listen to this. Save my headphones on. Wireless headphones, guys. There is a downside. That's why a lot of people don't use them. Well, that's interesting. There it is. Well, that was cool. It was a power cord issue. All right. Here we go.
So the summer of love is back, and we haven't even made it to Memorial Day. In the last few months, a healthcare exec was assassinated outside his hotel. Teslas started getting firebombed, IVF clinics torched. Oh, and they even tried to burn down Governor Shapiro's house in Pennsylvania.
Forgot about that one.
What do they all have in common? They're all leftists.
And the funny thing is, he's even a lefty. But hey, Governor Shapiro. What's Governor Shapiro? Oh no, could it be that he's Jewish? Huh. If you looked at the guy before who did it, yeah, seems a little bit of a problem there. He tries to say, well, it's because he took away some stuff and cost me some money or my kid or something like that. I can't remember all of it now, but he wasn't burning down anybody else in the government's, property. So I don't know.
And they're not mostly peaceful. Oh, and they even tried to burn down Governor Shapiro's house in Pennsylvania. What do they all have in common? They're all leftists, and they're not mostly peaceful. Overnight,
they're not right?
A young couple in Washington was executed in cold blood. 2 Israeli diplomats who were in love were gunned down, leaving a Jewish museum. The assassin fired several times. After the victims fell to the ground, videos showed the gunman leaning in and firing several more times. As one of them crawled away, the shooter fired again, reloaded, and then shot even more rounds into her body.
That is insane. You are not going to talk. You are not going to chit-chat this guy out of it. You're not going to. You're just not going to chat him out of this. This is nutso. Nutso. 21 shell casings. In the back. Brave mother pusser he is. In the back. And I will concentrate on the how in the hell are we raising these effing beta men who are too chicken crap to even do something to somebody's face to shoot a woman in the back? That is crazy. You aren't talking him out of this. You're not gonna. I wish I could have had a chat because I probably could have talked him out of this. Are you nuts? Are you nuts? Sorry, I was actually looking for that part where this guy thought he could have a chat with him. I wish I'd had an opportunity to talk with him because if I had, I would have talked him out of it. Really? Really? You're going to talk him out of this?
Fired several times. After the victims fell to the ground, videos showed the gunman leaning in and firing several more times. As one of them crawled away, the shooter fired again, reloaded, and then shot even more rounds into her body.
You aren't talking anybody out of this. It is time. That's it. That's it. We need to clamp down. No more of these free Palestine protests. Sorry, you're done. That's not free speech. Now all of that is in a call to action. This man screamed it. when he was being arrested. I played the video last night. He screamed that. That is now a direct call to violent action. The Constitution and free speech does not protect that. Besides, these people are taking over buildings and burning stuff anyway and attacking cops. Over. The Trump administration and Pam Bondi need to stop this now. It's done. All these people need to be considered a terrorist organization. Done. You aren't chatting people out of this. And now I'm worried. I'm worried that we've got to worry about copycats or people. Now this guy's opened the floodgates. We weren't seeing it. Nobody had crossed that line yet. But usually once somebody crosses it, then you have to worry about others. In fact, I got a story I want to talk about later. I haven't read it all yet about a girl in Florida, a leftist in Florida, doing some stupid crap. It's like, come on. Leftist. But the right is violent. I'm tired of it.
The suspect was arrested on the scene and went berserk.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Yep. It's over. That is now a call to action.
Witnesses say before this guy was arrested, security accidentally let him into the museum, thinking he was a victim. And people inside had no idea they were face to face with a killer.
My thought was, this poor man experienced a shooting. Do you need water? I looked the killer in the eyes and said, can I get you water? He said, yes, that would be great. And I walked to get it to him, and I literally handed it off. Unbeknownst to me, moments ago, this man had execution style killed 2 people. Not one shot. We're talking multiple gunshots.
21 rounds in the backs of these people. The woman was still alive. That, man. Anybody that doesn't get a little emotional, whether there's anger or sadness, there's something wrong with you. This young lady who could have been engaged and married in another, at least engaged in another week. Married, could have had kids, a family, grandkids. She was alive. And I'm not trying to be nasty, but this needs to be an impact on us emotionally. This needs to be remembered. She was alive, crawling away slowly for her life. And he reloaded and emptied more rounds into her. It needs to be stated roughly because we need to be emotional about this, not just cold. Any woman in your life, young lady, imagine this being done to one of them. All because of a political ideology of something that's happening around the friggin' earth, on the other side of the planet, that none of these people have any stake in. Insane. And this guy is a far lefty, the guy who did this. His dad's a lefty. He was a guest of a Democratic congressman at Trump's last speech. And I'm not saying dad's violent, but I'm saying the family's far left. You don't get invited by a congressman of either party if you're not really into that party deeply.
I looked Evil right in the eye, and there he was. And seconds after I handed him the water, he brandishes the keffiyeh, yells "Free Palestine," and then he's apprehended, and that's how it all unfolded.
So who was this guy? Elias Wright?
Other people have talked about, he was asking questions. So what kind of place is this? Oh, is this a Jewish museum? Yeah, and they were telling him it's a Jewish museum. They're trying to calm him. Holy crap. Now, I'm going to ask, I can't get into the brain of these people. After what he just did as brutally and as insane, as many rounds as what he just did to these people, how in the hell did he not? We are lucky he did not do something to these other people in the Jewish museum. Holy crap. Holy crap.
Rodriguez from Chicago. He's 31 and a former member of the Socialism
31 there.
Liberation Party. He's a BLMer and a Biden donor. Reports say on social media, Rodriguez praised Luigi Mangione, the United Healthcare assassin. Neighbors thought something was up.
Boy, check on every bit of crazy ideology. every bit of violent ideology. Every bit. And by the way, ABC. Neighbors seem to think he was a good guy. He seemed normal. They're stunned. Then what's this right here?
The outside of his door, there's a Hello Kitty sign. I mean, it's...
Okay.
He seemed like a normal, friendly guy. There is a picture in his window. Have you seen it? It's a picture of the Palestinian child who was...
Not to be a total dick. Okay, a little bit. Notice the hat this guy is wearing? Bernie? So the neighborhood he lives in is pretty left anyway. So if he seemed normal to them, probably because he's espousing all the stuff the rest of this neighborhood is into in the first place. You gotta look for the details, everybody.
Stabbed to death.
Sorry, I'll back up a sec.
He seemed like a normal, friendly guy. There is a picture in his window. Have you seen it? It's a picture of the Palestinian child who was stabbed to death.
And that's normal, to have that plastered up in your window on the street for everybody to see. Yeah, no warning signs at all. None.
And that gave me the impression that they were very, very sensitive people, especially about the issue of Palestine.
It should have given you the impression he was nuts.
Teams raided the assassin's apartment. And as we speak, police are combing through a manifesto he published right before the bloodshed. It's reportedly filled with pro-Hamas propaganda. Reports say this assassin posted "Death to America" and "Death to Israel." He also says, "I voted for Hamas." Here's Pam Bondi.
We'll be doing everything in our power to keep all citizens safe, especially tonight our Jewish community. We will follow the facts, we will follow the law, and this defendant, if charged, will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
And the New York Times says the FBI is still seeking a motive.
Really? 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 You're kidding, right? Do they really need really baked in motives? They're nuts. They're insane. They are lefty lunatics. That's what pretty much what we can go with anymore.
Motive? I think everybody knows what the motive is.
100%.
CNN says it's Trump's fault.
One of my main concerns in the current administration is the fact that so many resources are being diverted to immigration enforcement. And that is a priority of this administration, and that's their prerogative. But at the same time, if they are drawing down resources from counterterrorism.
What? 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 Well, that's semi-insane. Yeah. Everything is Trump's fault. No matter what, it's Trump's fault. TD fudginess. Yeah, counterterrorism. How about the neighbor who looked at this guy plastering a bloody image of a dead child in his window and going, fine, seem like sensitive people. That doesn't take a counterterrorism expert to go, dude, that guy's off. When he's espousing online and stuff, support for Luigi Mangione, who walked up and point blanked somebody else, a poor insurance, executive. That was a good thing. The Tesla stuff, BLM, you name it. I think we have enough where you don't need a counterterrorism expert. How about just somebody around with a bit of common fucking sense to call him for what he was, a far left lunatic. Yeah, counterterrorism needed to go into it. Right.
They're opening the borders and shooting Jews.
Trump's fault.
And CNN's blaming Trump for dropping the ball. CNN called Trump Hitler, but in this case, they don't want to rush to conclusions.
Oh, of course not.
Eyes, I mean, I went to Columbia for grad school, and I saw the same thing in his eyes as I saw in the eyes of all the protesters at Columbia. Nothing different between him and them.
What? Well, that's a condemnation of the rest of them then. If there's nothing different between Elias Rodriguez and the rest of the people in his little groups, according to this guy, that means they are all capable of doing this. Dude, you are not helping like you think you are. That means every one of them is just an Elias Rodriguez waiting to happen, according to this jackass right here. They don't look any different in the eyes. I saw... Dude, I want to replay that real quick.
They don't want to rush to conclusions.
What I saw in his eyes, I mean, I went to Columbia for grad school, and I saw the same thing in his eyes as I saw in the eyes of all the protesters at Columbia. Nothing different between him and them.
That's not a good thing. This guy needs to really, really pay attention to what he just said. That means every one of them is a potential shooter. Hey, Slowburn. Earlier that day, Israel troops shot at a convoy of humanitarian aid, and well, check pissed off heads up. Before it could hit the news, this happened. Seems almost like a false flag. Slowburn, you got to be careful with what comes out of there, because Hamas regularly attacks. Remember, this is a group. Sorry, lefties, it's a fact. This is a group that like to hide in hospitals, schools, builds tunnels under hospitals and schools, will off its own people just to blame it on Israel. So they'll launch rockets from hospitals. So I'm not going to automatically take, well, it depends. It depends who verified it. So I don't know. It's war, things happen. And all I can say is, boy, imagine if the Allies or any other war, if one side was held to this standard and the other side wasn't. Imagine if, oh my gosh, an innocent person got ended in Germany. Oh my God, we got to stop World War II. We can't win. We can't fight. Imagine if we heard so many people in any war we've been in the past going, we have to have proportional response. It's got to be proportional. If they take out 200 years, you can take out 200 of theirs, but that's it. You got to stop. Proportional. That's never how any conflict has ever gotten won. I'm not saying it's great, but I do not want to hear, and especially Piers Morgan can kiss my butt. Stop the proportional response shit. Yes, horrible things are going to happen. Innocents are going to be ended. It's just stupid. But that's the way war is. But if we had heard this proportional crap, World War II never would have ended. It'd still be going on. We'd still be dealing with deaths all over the place. It'd be a back and forth thing. Okay, we got 10 of yours. You can get 10 of ours. Oh, my Lord. If we held the Allies, what if we'd held France to this standard when they started taking back Germany? No, you win until the other side submits, and yes, bad things are going to happen. And as for verified, Israel does not, as far as I've been able to tell, go out and try to take out people that are not combatants. They do their best. They drop leaflets, they warn people, they do radio broadcasts. And unfortunately, a lot of these humanitarian convoys will ignore them or arrogantly go, no, there's an attack coming in, and they'll go through anyway, purposely. There's also proof of that, where Israel warns or dropping in leaflets, say, hey, this is what's going to happen. Here's going to be, an attack incoming, innocents get out, and they'll go, hey, we're going through. What are you going to do? Bomb it while we're here? That is what's been happening also. So I watch what's verified. I watch who's verifying it, and I just don't like, I do not think we should have involved, but I don't like how one side is held to an insane standard while the other side is not. And that's exactly what's being done against Israel. I'll call it for what it is. It's an insane way of holding them to, once again, proportional response. How many times have we heard over the last 10, 15, 20 years about rockets being continually lobbed into Israel, hitting open-air markets, hitting schools, even with the Iron Dome? Hell, before the Iron Dome, it was much worse. How many decades of this? But then when Israel responds, the whole world turns on them. I don't care if there's video, but are you saying they did it on purpose? I'm going to say no, they did not. That's all I care is, did they do it on purpose? If not, then no. I don't want to hear it. It is, if you are one, once again, going into a war zone, shit happens. You're going to tell me no humanitarian convoys or innocents got ended in other wars? Don't go in the middle of a war zone because stuff could happen. And they're usually warned. Like I said, Israel's been warning some of them. Some of them, there's video clips of these people arrogantly going, hell, we're going to go in through anyway. If Israel hits us, that's their own fault. Well, pfft. So video doesn't make a difference to me. What were they doing there? Did they know there was going to be attack? And are they trying to say, Israel did it on purpose? I mean, this Israel derangement syndrome, I didn't think much of it till I really started delving into this much deeper over the last year or so. It's insane. According to these people, Israelis and Jewish people are the drooling, insane, crazy people that BET makes white people look like. They are the root of all evil on earth. And I'm just gotten tired of it. So video or not, what's the context? What's it mean? What are they trying to say in the video? Oh, they did it on purpose? That's my question.
But they did not create this horrific shooting. They did not,
yeah, they did.
They didn't shoot.
They gave permission, and they have called for this. They have called for Intifada revolution, which is the same thing he yelled last night.
Yep. Okay, so, yeah, I was wrong about this guy. I'd watched this earlier, and I didn't remember that. Yeah, he was actually calling out saying that this guy is like the rest, and they're just as violent. I forgot that when I watched it this morning. I was a little tired still.
Do you worry that there will be a conflation, though, of the two?
A conflation? I mean,
there should be.
They're calling for Intifada. At Columbia University, they call for Intifada constantly.
Liberals are chanting, kill the Jews, and then someone does.
Let's see here. Let's just look this up real quick. I'm not sure how to spell this. Intifada. There we go. Results for Intifada. Intifada translates to shaking off or uprising. In context of Israeli conflict, it refers to two major Palestinian uprisings. Yeah, all violent. They're calling for disobedience. They're calling for protests. They're calling it nonviolent. Oh, while largely nonviolent. The second Intifada, you go through into it, and you know what they're saying. It is a saying for violence. They're not just going, hey, let's chit-chat with them. So, now Slowbird, aside the video you're talking about, are they saying, I'm watching the chat. Are they saying that it was done on purpose? Is that what it is? Is that what you're trying to say? I don't know. All I know is, if they wanted to, Israel could have slaughtered these people. Not saying they should, YouTube. Could have slaughtered these people and fixed this for themselves the way they supposedly want to. They could have done it decades ago. They could have done it decades ago before the world got even more against them. It could have been over and done. They've chosen not to. And once again, I'm not on either side. I don't even want us in it. And the reason I'm getting worked up is because we got this shit happening here. And I don't like when anybody that says anything gets, oh, you're getting worked up about this. People are getting riotous stuff happening, damaging buildings, attacking people, and now ending people's lives. So I am tired of anybody else who talks about this and poo-poos on this. Oh, you're getting worked up. Gee. Okay. Wonder why.
And CNN says one thing has nothing to do with the other. Some liberal darlings in the media are giving the shooter kudos, saying the victim had it coming.
This guy was a monster. He was a monster. He was a monster representing a foreign adversarial government currently conducting a Holocaust. And they want us to feel sorry for him. Even if I hadn't
How do you know what he did?
Profile, I would have said that representatives of a genocidal country should not feel safe in America. Because we're supposed to stand in opposition to that. And now having seen it, good riddance.
There's that dumb fucking word again, genocide. I am tired of that word. That is the lefties' new favorite word. Racism, sexism, all this other crap, they've used it so much it's lost, they found a new word. Genocide. This is the worst genocide in history. It is not a genocide. The very fact that Gaza has gained in population by an insane amount is the worst genocide in history. I'm just saying, it just is. I'm still watching the chat, Slowburn. I want to know what you're stating to that. So there's a video. Are they trying to say, oh, Israel did this on purpose or what? So I'm just asking. All right. So they had it coming just because they're pretty much from Israel and work in a place. That's like saying all Walmart workers are guilty because Walmart is screwing over some workers. But if you work there, you are part of it, you're guilty. So all Walmart workers can be, I guess, assaulted or something? That just seems stupid. So
This guy was a monster.
This morning, Omar wouldn't even condemn the murder.
Of course not. She loves it.
Reaction to the shooting that happened in D.C. last night.
I'm gonna go for now.
This is the same squad that
I'll say it. She loves it.
called us dangerous. Remember, Jazzy Crockett said Republicans were the terrorists.
Y'all got the white supremacists galore, okay? Like all of them. You got the Proud Boys. You got the neo-Nazis. You have people that literally should be classified as domestic terrorists, because a lot of times that is what they are doing. They're engaging in domestic terrorism. And guess what? They all align with your side inherently in like who you are. Y'all are violent. Like y'all in most
y'all show me y'all doing violence then. When you're looking at calling us y'all, then show us all the violence from our side. This is the problem with the left. She is a tard nugget. No, she's an open liar, and she knows it. Even her ghetto speech, if you look back to a year and a half ago, she talked perfectly normal, had better English and diction than me. This is all a show. She's playing a game and a part, and she's playing it with people's lives and doesn't give a shit.
Violence has to do with people that's got a little bit of melanin.
The right isn't burning cars and executing people in the street. It's not Republicans getting tossed out of hearings, kicking and screaming.
Taking IVF facilities.
I cannot live in peace. I will not be silent while there's a genocide going on.
Genocide!
Dying every day, hundreds. I won't be silent. You can't do this genocide.
I would love. By the way, if you ever see a person wearing this t-shirt, be aware of them. I'm not saying they're all violent, but be aware of them. If you're wearing a Trump anything or anything else they don't like, oof, watch them. But you know what? Could you imagine? Thank God we don't play a drinking game to the word genocide. Plah! With these people.
The world is watching. Act now. Everybody must act now. Act before it's too late. They're wiping out the Palestine people. Gaza must live. Free Palestine. Free Gaza. We will never be
Always close.
Leftists are barricading themselves inside a
Slowburn, I wasn't trying to make you angry. I just am tired of these videos coming out, and it's always twisted to try. Israel drooling at the mouth is trying to take out innocents. I'm just tired of that. So if I went off too quick, I'm sorry, but I really am asking, what if you're still there, but what is the context? What is it they're trying to say with this video? And I don't care. I mean, I'm not saying I don't care that people have been ended, but what were they doing there? You don't go in the way and go, oh, well, we got hit and hurt. What are you doing there? What are you doing? I don't walk out in front of cars on the highway and go, what the hell? How did I get hit by that car?
college campuses and lighting their diplomas on fire.
If you burn your diploma over this, your actual diploma, your graduation should be rescinded from the college. And I'm going to ask another question here. Why is it these people believe in this so much? Why do they care? With all the actual genocides going on around the world, all the other conflicts and wars and insanely bad things happening, But this one thing that is actually, if you look at it compared to the Uyghurs and some of the other stuff going on in the Middle East and everything else, and Africa, is pretty minor. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not backing it. I'm saying it's minor compared to some of this and the death tolls going on. But this one, this is the one. And they're showing violent hatred over this one. What's different? What do you think?
Democrats are losing their party. And what are they doing?
They lost it on purpose.
They're ignoring it or celebrating
They built these people and can't leave
President
now.
of South Africa went to the White House yesterday and got grilled about white genocide. Democrats in the media thought, it was only a couple of white farmers massacred.
And I loved when he was watching the video, the one camera that was still on him, or the cameras are on him, God, he's just looking down, he was sweating. He was sweating over that.
It's not officially genocide until it's like, what, 10,000? Is that how they feel about the Jews? Reporters who said Biden's brain fog was a hoax are now saying white genocide is.
Of course it is. We got to believe them now again.
Showed more than 1,000 burial sites of white South Africans that he said were murdered. We know that was
You
not
lied
true.
for
It showed
4
it's not
years.
The video was showing a burial site.
Oh, Cinder. She works for, I believe, PBS. Another good reason to defund PBS. This woman has been caught lying more times than Pinocchio. Almost nothing comes out of her mouth is true. Yet we're funding this city with our tax dollars. Our government media, if we're going to have government or state media, it should be center. Report the news, let everybody else decide, not have a huge leaning. Remember the lady who worked for, was it NPR PBS? Was out there, and they called her out in Congress that every single person on their staff was leftist. Huge leftist beliefs. Not even one center or right person. That is really a good way to make a non-biased newsroom.
Unsubstantiated that's the case.
The video showed images of crosses in South Africa about white farmers who have been killed and politically persecuted because of the color of their skin.
She's playing words.
And those crosses are
Cinder
representing
is.
their lives. Are you disputing that there's no...
It's words. She's playing word games. She's trying to make everything Trump said a lie by, yes, Trump misspoke. He said, those are the burial sites. No, they represent the burial sites. They represent the farmers whose lives were taken over there for racist reasons. And this biatch knows exactly what she's doing. She's trying to say, this is the same thing. Donald Trump says he ate 300 cheeseburgers on Tuesday. Fact check, false. He ate 300 cheeseburgers on Wednesday. He still ate 300 cheeseburgers. Same here. Those represent the burial sites of all the ended white farmers. But because he said that was the actual burial site, that negates the whole thing. That is the game. And our tax money should never go to this woman.
Showed what the president claimed it showed, because it did not show that. But even more, what I'm asking you is who at the White House...
No, it did show that. It showed white crosses representing people who have perished because of racial persecution.
The Daily Show actually found white genocide funny.
President Trump's meeting with the president of South Africa today. And because it's Donald Trump, things got weird.
Death, 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 horrible death, death.
And they're laughing in the background, by the way.
What a host. Death.
Oh, Donald Trump. Donald Trump bad.
Hey, do you want a Diet Coke? Yeah.
This is the state of the Democrat Party. They have more
comparing
assassins
deaths
than
of people
ideas.
to Diet Coke.
They shot Steve Scalise, got a block away from murdering Kavanaugh, shot the president. Now they're blowing up homes, IVF clinics, and Teslas. They're executing CEOs and Jews and having margaritas with MS-13. Their donors finance it. They nurture it at universities, excuse it in the press, and downplay it after the fact. Their tactics are creating collateral damage in the Mideast. You think Israel's going to make peace after this? You think it's easier to get Iran to sign a nuke deal after this? Harvard's already lost billions, and now Kristi Noem's banned the school from enrolling foreign students. Left-wing violence is killing the peace process and killing the Democrat Party. And notice how they're not screaming about gun control.
is a self-inflicted wound. They groomed these people for a decade or more. They groomed them, telling them that they're saving the world against the ultimate evil. Donald Trump makes Hitler look amazingly fuzzy and friendly. He's worse than anything ever, including the devil himself. So anything you do is justified. To take out the Hitlers, wouldn't it be? To stop the next genocide? Amazing how these people call him Hitlers. Oh, you know, half his family is Jewish. I love it.
That's how you know it's one of their own.
Yeah, 100%.
So the summer of love is back, and
now I've got a little question or two coming up here. D.C. Palestine shooters sought vengeance for Wadi Ayumi. That was the kid. He was a student at University of Illinois during mass Israel protests 2018. I believe that is the, It was Muslim and Palestinian. Yeah. So that's a great way to get revenge. Go off some random people who happen to be Israeli. A good plan. So, yeah. I'm going to say, now I'm going to skip right to this. I want to know, I had questions. How do you get, Washington, D.C. has insane gun laws. And yes, they're illegal. Hugely illegal gun laws. And I had to ask, hey, if you have all these gun laws, how'd this guy get the gun there? He came from Chicago, an area already with other insane gun laws. So, okay, even this guy had a concealed carry in Chicago. They say he packed the gun in his carry-on, I believe, here. Let's see. Yeah. Had checked a 9mm handgun in with his luggage, so it was part of the record. Checked it in. Hey, there's a 9mm here in my luggage. Okay, so he followed, obviously, the law there. They would have stopped him there. So that's part of the documentation. Problem is, I asked, can a person bring a handgun into Washington, D.C. through the airport? Yes, you can bring a handgun into D.C. through the airport, but it must be transported legally and is registered. So they knew he had this. Here's what you need to know. Legal requirements. You must be legally able to possess a handgun in both the state where you are traveling from and the District of Columbia. Now, I'm not 100% sure on this. I've seen some people posting this guy had other felonies in his past. So if you have felonies, you can't possess a handgun in Illinois. Not a concealed carry especially. So if you don't have a concealed carry in Illinois, especially in Chicago where they're extremely hard to get, they deny them left and right. There's lawsuits over it. So if he didn't have a concealed carry in Chicago, Illinois, whatever, or even a right to own a handgun there, they didn't check that. Normally you have to show documentation that you are legally able to even have that. And then here's the other problem. All handguns carried in D.C. must be registered with the Metro Police Department. So this guy didn't trigger, did this guy actually register this? They knew he had it. You fly into D.C. airport, they're looking down at your stuff, go, oh, 9mm handgun. Is that registered with the Metro PD? I'm just saying, did they not ask this? Where was the questions? You guys want these insane gun laws, but somehow you never seem to follow them. You never seem to make use of them. You do shit like this, where I'm going to say there's a good chance they didn't even call out the fact that he had a gun and going, yo, officer, come over here. This guy, you need to see, help him register his handgun. Helping register this handgun. Do you have this registered in D.C.? You shouldn't even be able to walk into D.C. with it non-registered, obviously. So I'm curious, did he have it there? I'm betting no. So all these laws, they somehow never protect anybody from getting ended. All it does is stop the rest of us from being able to stop the bad guy. Everybody there in D.C., most of those people are unarmed, unable to protect themselves because of stupid fucking gun laws. And all they do when something like this happens, what's the lefties' idea? Let's add more gun laws. But they fail at every turn on their gun laws they already have. And I'm going to say, even if this guy did have a Chicago one, he checked it in, you have to be registered with with the Metro Police Department. And they are notorious, one, for not letting you carry even if you have that. So, did he check it? Did the people at the airport, how about this? How about TSA going, okay, so you have a handgun? Is that checked in with the Metro PD? I'm going to say no. So there's something there right there, a failure. Or was there somebody in D.C. that had another firearm? Maybe they did take this. We'll find out. Maybe somebody else handed off another one, but I'm going to say, what a load of shit right here. If you intend to carry a handgun concealed, you'll need a permit from your state of residence, okay? Handgun must be unloaded, stored in a locked container when being transported. According to American Airlines, yes, kept separate. Declaration, he did declare it. They knew he had it. How'd he go walking around D.C. with this? I want to find that out. TSA specific guidelines, so TSA knew he had this. When he landed in D.C., they know the laws there. There should be a document right there where you register with the police. Did he do that? Did the police look at this firearm? I'm just curious. D.C. has specific laws. You must be licensed to carry a concealed on your person. If this guy's committed other crimes in Chicago, he wouldn't have had that. So I have questions. Major questions. But I think that's where we're going to leave it. I'm trying to keep these a little shorter. Slowburn, if you're still there, please send a link to lionsdenws6@gmail.com. Let me pull myself up here a little bit. I know nobody can see, but I'm going to pull this over and over here. And I'm going to go here. Oops, maybe I am. There we go. Okay. Go over here. There. Yeah, make sure I didn't send it there if you get a chance. I'll look at it. I'm curious. I wasn't trying to crap on you, piss you off. I'm sorry, but I'm just so tired of them. Everybody, Israeli troops shot at a convoy. Was the convoy supposed to be there? Were they warned? I don't see Israel just go capping off innocent people. Could I be wrong? Maybe, but I've not seen that that's been their history. So when people post something like that or want to argue it, seems like a false flag. I don't know how he's wording this. If I got it wrong, I'm totally able to admit that. I just don't know what it is he's trying to say to me. So I'm not very bright. It's just a fact. But Slowburn, no shot at you, honestly. Nothing meant. I'm going to hop out of here, and I'm going to maybe try to catch a little of the counter-strike behind me. And then I got to, of course, I got a friend who's got a car that's got a noise in it. So we'll see how that goes when he gets off work. All right, guys. I will be back later. Don't know if we're going to do a full LYONCAST tonight or not. If I do, it'll be around 9-ish, 8:39-ish. Probably sometime after Salty Cracker. And please leave thumbs up, like, subscribe to everybody on Rumble. Thank you very much. And have a good one. Slowburn, not trying to make you angry, man. Trust me. I don't know if I caught what you're saying properly. But send me the video.